From Saturday, June 12. 10 races were contested, including the feature event, the Safa Trophy, named in honor of the 2008 Triple Crown winning filly Safra. Race 1 starts us off, a main condition event for native-bred 5-year-old horses and upwards, going 1,100 meters.
5.5 furlongs, 1,100 meters. Starter ready. They're off. The final blue left at the back early. Bad Boy Theodore gets up quickly with Northern Ridge moving through on the outside, overtaking. And Northern Ridge is the one now who snatches the lead on the run toward the half mile. Slipping away by some 2 lengths. Chased up by Rose on the inside, overtaken by Monsieur Muser. There goes Little Red as Rose now fades back into 4th as they run toward the 7/16. A gap of 2 to Savitar in company. Bad Boy Theodore a length and a half back. Lyceum races on the outside of Little Buzz. The final blue has overtaken 1. That's Bangle Rebel as they have left the 3 and arrive at the 5/16. About to come thundering into the lane, and they have to catch this Northern Ridge. Being crowded now by Monsieur Muser in the center. Little Red out 3 wide, and these are the 3 main contenders, with Northern Ridge continuing to battle Monsieur Muser. Little Red is in a handy spot on the outside if good enough, but they drive up toward the furlong pole, and now Monsieur Muser takes the lead, a narrow one. Northern Ridge attempts to rally over against the rail, but it is Monsieur Muser and Dane Dawkins beginning to inch away from them. Monsieur Muser now coming clear inside the final 16th, being shown the right-hand sticker, now a couple of cracks, and Monsieur Muser romps the first by 4 or more over Northern Ridge. The final blue is 3rd, Little Red is 4th, Lyceum is 5th.
Monsieur Monsieur with jockey Dane Dawkins aboard romped the first event in a time of 1 minute 12 2/5 of a second for trainer Errol Pottinger. Second went to Northern Ridge, followed by the final blue, Little Red and Lyceum. Race 2 was a restricted allowance event going 1,000 meters round and included speedsters such as Glock, Elitis, Basilicus, and KD Rocket.
They're off and racing. Highly Blessed broke with his head in the air. Making the runnings at the past the 4.5 furlong point. That's Shy 2 Prince right there in the mix. That's Glock right on Glock's outside. That's KD Rocket behind that one. And coming around, that looks to be Elitist as they pass the 4, going toward the 3 already. And it is Chai 2 Prince with the lead. Glock very early today, right there in 2nd. KD Rocket is in 3rd. Elitist right on the rail and saving ground. Behind Elitist, that is Basilicus, but these 3 are in a line as KD Rocket. Now it's the front from Glock on the inside rail. KD Rocket in front. Glock trying to fire a shot against the rail. KD Rocket in front. Elitist trying to come between horses. It's KD Rocket. Glock comes forward intelligently, and Glock now hits the front from KD Rocket, and it will be Glock in front of KD Rocket. Glock wins it. KD Rocket is 2nd. Elitist is 3rd. Chai 2 Prince is 4th.
Glock, ridden by Omar Walker, fires on the day for 2-time champion trainer Anthony Baba Nunez. 3rd in last year's Oaks, Glock logs a winning time of 1 minute 1 2/5 of a second. KD Rocket secured 2nd, followed by Elitis, Chai 2 Prince, and Basilicus. Race 3 was a 3-year-old and up claiming event going 1,000 meters round. A competitive field of 9 faced the starter.
Ready for a start, and they're off and racing. Inferno Flame is the last to leave the gate. Fortune 100 has speed and shows it as they go toward the 4 furlong point. It's Balazzo on the inside, passing the 4 with that lead. Fortune 100 is right there too. Smoky Topaz rushing down into 2nd. Right back against the rail, that is Fortune 100 as they pass the 3, coming towards the 2.5 furlong point. Balazzo dictating terms. from Smoky Topaz. Sweet Destiny is making a charge on the outside, left back against the rail. That's Fortune 100. Balaza in front, a furlong and a half to travel, being tested by Smoky Topaz on the outside. Balaza and Smoky Topaz, this is where the race lies for now. But coming on from behind as they pass the furlong pole, a sharp skirt as Smoky Topaz now hits the front and begins to sprint away. It's Smoky Topaz in total control. Smoky Topaz, large and in charge in the third, will win. It's very tight for second between Sharp Skirt and Balazzo, finishing in fourth, that's Sweet Destiny.
A sizzling victory by Smoky Topaz with apprentice Yuval Pinnock, aboard for trainer Joseph Durant. Second went to Balazzo, followed by Sharp Skirt, Sweet Destiny, and Lady Budget. Race 4 was a main condition race contested over 1,000 meters straight for native-bred horses 4-year-olds and upwards.
1,000 meters straight. They're off. And Soul Treasure presses the eject button and gets rid of the rider at the start. So Soul Treasure out of it. Nina Dorado is the lone one on the far side. Take Two is drifting across with Commissioner as they sort themselves out and make their way now toward the final 3. Montgomery is right up with the front runners. In behind them, Queet Destiny sucking sand at the moment as they charge toward the quarter pole. Take Two on the far side, now in the middle of the track. Commissioner just toward his outside. Nearest to us, that's Montgomery. Queen Destiny continues to run at a trot in behind them as they now pick up the speed inside the last quarter. Take Two now put to the stick in the left hand. Commissioner also getting the left hand stick, and it's Commissioner who has the lead over Take Two as they make their way inside the final furlong. It is Commissioner out in front and beginning to draw clear. Take Two continues the chase on the rail. That's Queen Destiny, but it's all Commissioner, and Magnificent Daney continues to wail away with the stick. Commissioner romps it by maybe 6. It's tight between Queen Destiny and Take Two. Then Nina Dorada. Junior Jones is back in 5th.
Under an assertive ride from Dane Warrior Chief Nelson, Commissioner completes the win ahead of Queen Destiny, Take Two, and Nina Dorada. Race 5 saw 1,000 guineas winning jockey Ryan Lewis replaced by Javaniel Patterson aboard horse number 10, Leo. Horse number 11, Danny Marshall, was a late non-starter. 12 thoroughbreds went 1,200 meters in a main condition race for native-bred 3-year-olds.
Fair start. JJ the Striker could have had traffic problems, backs out quickly at the back. Dancing in the Breeze also racing toward the back along with To Cat Be the Glory, but it's Diamond in the Sky as they flash past the 5 leading up. Simba the Lion in hot pursuit, 3 parts of a length down. JJ Warrior the Grey in the red races on the rail from Turn on the Light. Leo racing out wide. A Diamond Star in between horses as they leave the half mile. A gap to Queen T. Lion Talk making ground against the rail. A huge gap opens up to another champion. To Cat Be the Glory races next, and a gap to TJ the Striker, and Dancing in the Breeze is last. The strung out field arrive at the 5/16th, about to come into the lane, and it is Simba the Lion and Robert Halladine in complete control. Under the hand right, Simba the Lion, a quick change of hold, and Simba the Lion looks to be in control of the event as they flash past the 3/16th. Halladine continues to be a busy man, but they enjoy a good-looking lead. Turn on the Light left way back in second. Leo is down against the rail. In the center of horses, that's a Diamond Star and a Lion Talk on the extreme outside in the orange, but it's all Simba the Lion, and Robert Halladine romping the 5th event. They win by 7, maybe 8. Turn on the Light is second. Another champion runs on to take third. It's close. It's a photo between Lion Talk and Leo for 4th and 5th.
Simba the Lion, partnered by Robert Hardball Halladine, roars into the winner's enclosure, following a winning time of 1 minute 15 and 3/5 of a second. Turn on the Light was second, followed by another champion, Lion Talk and Leo. Race 6 was a restricted allowance event going 1,200 meters. Horse number 5, She's My Destiny, trained by Jason DaCosta, took aim at her second win from as many starts.
They're off. Fake just misses it. An almost perfect start. Pretty Cash goes for that lead, gets it over True Bravado. 3 parts of a length separates them. Bad Gal Riri as they leave the 5, now rushing down to claim third spot on the run toward the half mile. She's My Destiny, held just off those fractions. Gentle Giant on the outside. Moon Over, the grey races on the rail. Just about 4.5 to 5 lengths separates those. True Sky in the yellow making ground ahead of Broken Light. King's Magician in the red is next, and then a gap opens up to Sudden Flight and a Fake at the back. They lead the three. They run now toward the final 5/16. Bad Gal Riri now accelerates, gets that lead over True Bravado. She's My Destiny gets a run against the rail and comes in scraping paint. At the top of it, they've got to catch a Bad Gal Riri in the white, showing on that lead. She's My Destiny running against the rail. Moon Over trying to make ground. Pretty Cash is on the outside in the yellow and black, but up front, Bad Gal Riri now being caught by She's My Destiny. A furlong to run, and She's My Destiny and Anthony Thomas now grab the lead from Bad Gal Riri, and She's My Destiny gets rolling late and begins to open up over Bad Gal Riri. She's My Destiny by 2, Bad Gal Riri second. It's a three-way photo. Pretty Cash on the outside, Moon Over in between horses, and on the rail in the red cap, that's Gentle Giant.
She's My Destiny secured the win for trainer Jason DaCosta, ahead of the Anthony Nunes conditioned Bad Gal Riri. Third went to Maneuver, followed by Pretty Cash and Gentle Giant. Race 7, a 3-year-old and up claiming event, had its fair share of drama. Here's how the action unfolded as they went 1,000 meters straight.
5 furlongs straight, they're off. Diligent gets bounced around a bit in the early exchanges. Big Paul is showing speed toward the far side with a Buckaluk, Super Ami in the red in behind them. Diligent coming across toward the center. Okahumpka is dead middle of the racetrack. Storm Princess is running pretty quickly, possibly just off the fractions. Chrysanli is also showing good speed. Cedon left out of it near the stand fence. But they're coming up now with less than 3 furlongs remaining. It's still wide open. Okahumpka in a very handy position. Chrysanli possibly just the leader. Storm Princess in between horses. Diligent now asked to go under the right-hand stick. Big Paul toward the far side, but they run now toward the final furlong of the event. And it is Chrysanli now who has that lead over Storm Princess. Big Paul coming across. Diligent may have been squeezed for space, but it is Chrysanli who holds the advantage. Big Paul attacking on his inside. Big Paul now points, and Big Paul begins to come away in the end. Big Paul wins it from Chrysanli. Diligent. Storm Princess, Super Amia is 5th.
Horse number 2, Big Paul, was first past the post. However, following a steward's inquiry, he was disqualified and placed behind horse number 4, Diligent. The final placing saw Chrysanli promoted to first with jockey Tevin Foster, aboard for trainer Ryan Williams. Diligent was promoted to second, with Big Paul demoted to third. Storm Princess finished in 4th, while Super Amia rounded off the top 5. Race 8 was a restricted allowance event for horses 5-year-olds and upwards, going 1,000 meters straight. 8 faced the starter following the scratch of horse number 9, Jensunira Steel.
Field in line, 1,000 meters straight. They're off. Fair start, Nez Perce, as usual, tacking to the stands. He Can Dance toward the center. It's a Beautiful Day is tacking toward the stands as well. Black River is running quickly in the center. May just have that overall lead in the early exchanges. Fabulosity in the purple and the blue cap racing on the far side as they come away now toward the final 3. A Black River looks to have the overall lead over Nez Perce. It's a Beautiful Day near the stands. Berry Boy further back right against that stand fence. On the far side, He Can Dance needs to do a lot more running. So too Fabulosity and St. Michael. Ali left out of it. But Black River attacks as they come inside the last quarter. Under the stands here is Nez Perce now trying to get to Black River. And these two going at it. St. Michael on the far side now shaken up for run. Fabulosity also beginning to show some foot. He Can Dance is in the center as they dash past the 16th pole, and on the far side it is St. Michael under a vigorous left-hand stick who comes charging through, and St. Michael will win it over Black River. He Can Dance, Nez Perce.
Brought through the gears by 3-time champion jockey Dane Nelson, St. Michael logged a winning time of 1 minute 1 3/5 of a second. Second went to Black River, He Can Dance in third, followed by Nez Perce and Fabulosity. The El Safra Trophy was the feature event of the 10-race program. Named in honor of the 2008 Triple Crown winning filly, the day's feature was contested over 1,600 meters or a mile. The Philip Fiani conditioned Excessive Force along with Ian Possad's Double Crown were both heavily fancied. However, trainer Gary Subrati had an awesome treasure within the field of 12.
Uncle Frank and the Caymanas now relegated to last quickly as Awesome Treasure comes away running as they approach the 7. Casual Peach chasing in second, Excessive Force just in between runners. Uncle Vinny racing on the outside. A break back to Master of Hall, caught and overtaken narrowly by a Double Crown. Let him fly toward the back along with Uncle Frank, and as they leave the 6, Caymanas a long way last. Continuing their going on the back stretch. Awesome Treasure leading up as they approach the 5 and go past it. Awesome Treasure by a length and a half. Excessive Force ridden to stay in touch. A break of some 4 lengths opens up to Uncle Vinny. Double Crown and Let Him Fly race next. A break back to Casual Peach. Uncle Frank now beginning to make ground but has a mountain to climb along with the rest as they leave the half mile. Master of Hall toward the back and Caymanas making mild progress. Dashing up toward the final 3/8 of a mile, Awesome Treasure will try to steal the show, leading up by some 5 lengths. Excessive Force continues to be urged to get closer as they leave the 5/16, but it is Awesome Treasure and Dane Dawkins into the lane. They're at the top of it in the Safra Trophy, and they're traveling strong. Dane has a look behind him. He sees Excessive Force now asked to kick in on the outside. Let Him Fly is struggling in third along with Uncle Vinny and the rest, but it is Awesome Treasure with a furlong to run. Excessive Force now gathering momentum on the outside. Awesome Treasure beginning to tie up a bit. Excessive Force now trying to get to that leader, but it's been a good ride on Awesome Treasure from Dane Dawkins. They stole the show from early. They beat Excessive Force in the Safra. Uncle Frank is third. Double Crown looks to be fourth.
Victory to Awesome Treasure in the Safra Trophy, expertly ridden by Dane Dawkins. The 4-year-old filly dismissed the challenge of the fancied Excessive Force to clock 1 minute 40 and 3/5 of a second. Uncle Frank, Double Crown, and Uncle Vinny rounded off the top 5. Race 10 was a restricted allowance contest going 1,100 meters. Here's a look at the final event of the day as 10 broke from the starting gate.
Settled now. They're off for the 10th. Another prosecutor came off awkwardly. Toughness didn't get away quickly. Danny Spud did. Goes for that lead as they leave the 5. Daytona Bell pressing an attack early. My Smoky on the outside of John P. These 4 packed tightly. Sniper Man on the outside of Lava Boy beginning to improve as they arrive at the half-mile marker. They're followed up by State of Emergency. Toughness the Grey is possibly 10 or more lengths off that lead. 2 lengths back to Duke of Springs and another prosecutor at the back and Hopeless. They leave the 3. They run toward the 5/16th in the turn. My Smoky battles Lava Boy, who now points, and Lava Boy will come into the lane with that lead. My Smoky fighting on the inside, trying to get back to the leader, Lava Boy. Sniper Man in the orange silks racing out wide. In behind them, State of Emergency and a Danny Spud, but Lava Boy clings to that rail, getting a crack of the left-hand stick as Lava Boy approaches the furlong pole. Sniper Man trying to get to Lava Boy all the time, but the lead is 2 lengths, could be a bit more. Lava Boy out in front. Inside the final 16th, it's a Tevin Foster. He's hunting his second win, and Lava Boy will deliver. Lava Boy wins it. Sniper Man ahead of Danny Spud 3rd. State of Emergency 4th. My Smoky is 5th.
Lava Boy, ridden by Tevin Foster, handed trainer Gary Subrati a quick double, following victory by Awesome Treasure in the 9th event. Dane Warrior Chief Nelson was denied a hat-trick of victories, as Sniper Man finished in 2nd, followed by Danny Spud, State of Emergency, and My Smoky. So, as we bring the curtains down on the highlights package for Saturday, June 12, there were 2 wins apiece for jockeys Dane Nelson, Dane Dawkins, and Tevin Foster. Gary Subrati was the most successful trainer on the day, having saddled 2 winners. This has been another edition of the Caymanas Park.